Enough, she loathes the nickname.
Does she really?
Yes, it's
I'll stop doing it.
A schoolgirl nickname, but I mean it fits her and it suits her.
Yeah.
She looks far more like a Fergie than an HRH.
Yes, and she looks
nicest possible way.
Looks very relaxed as she walks around and having a lovely time at the races, and the gods have been kind to us and the weather's still good here at Flemington, and in fact all the clouds have pretty much gone away, so perhaps any thought of showers or thunderstorms are a long way away. So we've got a very hot day, and we've got the Schweppes 1200 coming up, Dan, and in this one, I don't know, what do you like?
It is an open race. I think the tote board's going to indicate that. It's a very fair race too, Tim, because they run straight down the straight 6, 1200 metres, straight course. But look at 365, has never been down the straight before. Dwownhead has. He won this race last year, $4.60, $1.90 Dancer's Choice. A 4-set Melody Hit Economy, Port Phillip, Brosberg. They're all under double-figure odds, so it just shows you how open the race is. Classman, Kremlin, stamp of approval's not hopeless either, and Freud right down near the bottom. Even on a race like that, there's nearly $600,000 in the win and place pool. Let's have a look at the Melbourne Cup. And the 24 horses in the Melbourne Cup prices will be coming up. We'll continue to update the Cup, so just make sure you tune to 10 to have a look. Sedestin $7.25, Terrific $5.75, Water Boatman $3.75, and he's the favourite, outright favourite in the Melbourne Cup on the Victorian Totalisator. $3.80 for the Phantom, $6.45 Kingston Rule, $9.55 Mr. Brooker. Shazora number 10 is at $5, so she's starting to tighten right up. $7.95 Just a Dancer, $9.80 Shellier. Over the page to number 19, Ali Boyd $6.40, Latristia $22.25, Rising Fear $27.40, Selwyn's Mate $94, $3,352,000 the win, $2,658,000 the place, so nearly $6 million, or in fact over $6 million. That's Water Boatman. He is now the favourite in the Foster's Melbourne Cup, and you get a good shot of his tail later on in the day. It's a very short tail. It was bitten off by another horse called Non-Aligned. Peter Donegan likes Dancer's Choice in this race, and Graham Kelly is selecting number 8 Port Phillip, a horse I thought had a good each-way chance at about 12 to 1. Horses are in the mounting yard, gentlemen.
John Patterson saw him down there and galloped his taken course.
Racing, thanks Crackers, one of the best out for look down at the inside. Getting out smartly was Port Phillip. Freud was out wider on the track. Bullock's going to try and get across and lead with the blinkers. Gets over the paint in front of Port Phillip. Just in behind those was Dwownhead, and going up fourth was Dancer's Choice. A couple of lengths behind them, then the Melody Hit. And they were followed by a 4-set Stamp of Approval's very wide out. Freud drifts back through the field, and getting back towards the tail too was Economy as they run down towards the 700. And Bullock's in front, a length and a half clear of Port Phillip, Dwownhead. Then Dancer's Choice, and they were followed by Classman behind them. Wider out on the track was Stamp of Approval, then a 4-set Melody Hit Economy in the clear from Kremlin Freud, and well back was Drumming as they run down towards the 500 metres point. Chances everywhere. Going up wide out, Dancer's Choice with Port Phillip, Dwownhead, Classman, Stamp of Approval down the outside. Brosberg trying to work into the clear, and Melody Hit the widest runner. Port Phillip went to the front, 200 metres to go. From Dwownhead, Classman, Stamp of Approval, and Brosberg out wide from Bullock and Drumming. Port Phillip a length and a half in front. Dwownhead, and look at Brosberg and Drumming. Brosberg down the outside is swapping them, and Brosberg's going to get up and win the Schweppes 1200. Brosberg drew clear near the post, 2.5 a length to Dwownhead and Port Phillip. Close up fourth in the race would have been Drumming. Then Stamp of Approval. They were followed by Classman. Next in Bullock and Melody Hit Economy, Dancer's Choice. Well back Kremlin, then a 4-set, and last of all was Freud.
Well, Danny, that's a little bit of consolation for Damien Oliver after missing out on the ride on Saturday in the big race in the Gadsden. Very good ride. He came home very well, Brosberg, and just when it looked all over for the second horse, he just come along on the scene. He's gone 1:9.2, Dan, which is a great run.
On fire this track now.
Oh, gee, what are they going to run in the Melbourne Cup? I can see a record being run there today, but Drown had a good run under his 57 kilos. He's had to give the winner down about 4.5 kilos, and I think this just told over the last little bit, but when they're running them times, you know, every ounce counts, doesn't it?
Brosberg's trained by John Sadler, one of the best trainers here at Flemington. And this horse, I think, is going to be quite smart. Just look at his record. 11 starts now, 5 wins, 4 other placings. That's a record of a good horse. He's certainly on the way up. And a good ride by Damien Oliver, who's going to partner Frontier Boy in the Melbourne Cup. He's had one ride last year, and he was involved in a fall, but he's got a great chance of winning the Melbourne Cup. And let's have a look at him in action here. He's not even in the screen yet, John, but Port Phillip in front, getting tired, tackled by Dwownhead. There he is.
Port Phillip was a much improved run today, I thought, Dan.
He was very unlucky at Caulfield, though. I think a lot of people forget about that. He probably should have run a place that day, and he showed a lot of speed today, but it set the race up for a horse like Rosberg. He's a nice-looking chestnut who finished off the 1200 well, so he's got to get a bit more ground, I'd say.
Yeah, the favourite was disappointing, no doubt, wasn't it? Racing down to about the 400 metres. Dancer's Choice was beaten, a beaten horse at the 400 metres, and travelled beautifully for Michael Clark, and I thought, well, here's another one for the David Hayes stable, but it wasn't to be, and 400 metres from home, you could say, well, Dancer's Choice wasn't going to run a place.
She's somewhat of an enigma, I think, because she's only won three races, and it's not that many, and two of them were at her first two starts. She was a brilliant two-year-old. Being by Bletchingley, that particular breed go extremely well fresh, and I think first up after long preparations, perhaps best for her, because she's had a few runs this time in, although there's been a while between her last start, which she flopped badly when a short price favourite, but no doubt she'll come back on the autumn a much improved mare. She's still very, very good. The winner of the Schweppes 1200, Rosberg, Damien Oliver and John Sadler teaming up to win the Schweppes 1200 and break the winning sequence really of David Hayes, 9, 2 and 8 on race number 3. Rosberg paid $4.40 and $1.20. Douarnet $1.60. Port Phillip $1.85. $29.45 the Quinella, and the trifecta was a good one, $527.85.
Johnny Letts says, above deck cannot lose, Dan.
Very confident he's Johnny Letts, and he should know he's from Adelaide, the horse and John, of course. And we'll have a look at the update on the fourth event. We see Patriro's out, Procol Harum a short price opening favourite, $1.45, Marwong $4.35. And if you want value, there's above deck, $3.50 and $1.15. $6.90 Power of Destiny at stablemate. It also goes well fresh. $3.65 for number 7, which is Sue Chief. Another Adelaide horse at 33 to 1, Bar Dancer. Looks great, $3.95, has been winning well in the country with big weights, and the other horses all at pretty good value. That's race number 4 at Flemington. And the selections from Peter Donegan and Graham Kelly, they both agree that the horse to beat is Procol Harum, and Peter's going to find out who Dr. Turf likes in the fourth event.
Welcome back to Flemington. I say welcome back. In fact, welcome to Flemington, to all our regional stations right around Australia joining us as of now. It's good to have you with us and stay with us for what will be a beaut day. Well, you've just seen the fashion. Some dress up, some dress down. Out in the car park, they dress pretty much any way they like.
Welcome back to Flemington. Horses on their way to the start of race number 4, the race before the Melbourne Cup. It's called the Great Western, a Group 3 race over 1,400 metres. And let's have a look at the billboard as to where they start and finish this race from. The northernest point on the racetrack, well, actually the southernest point if we're going by the actual north, south, west, east directions, but that's the 1,400 metre start, top of the page, and they have a long run in of about 550 metres. Procol Harum is very tight, $1.40, $4.55 Marwong. Above deck, Power of Destiny, Sculptured Arch, Sioux Chief are all given good chances. Barfly, Glacier Peak, not hopeless. And over the page, certainly looks great. It's a top chance at about 8 to 1. Panorama Grey and Sussex Star given good outside chances. As we go down to Peter and Graham. Race 4 at Flemington. Sculptured Arch to be positioned. Goes up now, cries of hang on. Now all appears to be right. The lights on. Set for a start. Set for race 4, the race before the Melbourne Cup, the Great Western, 1400 metres. And they're racing. Power of Destiny a little bit slow to begin, goes back to the tail, looks great, actually missed the start, and one of the first to begin was Bar Flyer from Panorama Grey. Young Vigilante goes through to be third early, and out wider on the track, Glacier Peak, and also going around them, Sculptured Arch. Looks great, goes up to be in 5th placing, followed by Procol Harum inside Sussex Star and Sioux Chief. And a length and a half to Above Deck, a bit worse than midfield from Marwong, Foamy Ocean, and last Power of Destiny. About 900 metres left to go, and Panorama Grey in front, led a half a length to Sculptured Arch. Looks great, had to work early, third, down on the inside, Bar Flyer, then Glacier Peak. Sioux Chief to 6th, a length away, Procol Harum on the inside of Sussex Star, Young Vigilante, then Above Deck, and they were followed by Marwong, Power of Destiny, and last Foamy Ocean. 600 metres to go, Panorama Grey in front, trying to lead all the way, led narrowly on the home turn though. Challengers are coming thick and fast as they straighten up. Around them goes Looks Great, over in the middle, Sculptured Arch, and then Bar Flyer, Glacier Peak, running on Sioux Chief, and they were followed by Above Deck in need of a run. Marwong down the outside with Procol Harum, and then Power of Destiny. 350 metres to go, Sculptured Arch got to the front, Panorama Grey can't go on. Here's the favourite down the outside, Procol Harum. Power of Destiny over the top, not Hayes again, I think it will be. Power of Destiny over the top, Procol Harum fighting back, Power of Destiny coming at him. He's laying out Procol Harum, Power of Destiny lunging and got him. Power of Destiny got up and won and beat Procol Harum, and third Looks Great. Fourth in the race would have been Marwong. Then Above Deck and Glacier Peak, followed by Bar Flyer, Sculptured Arch. Next time Panorama Grey and Foamy Ocean, followed by Young Vigilante and well back Sioux Chief, and last of all was Sussex Star. When you're hot, you're hot. This horse was last of the 800. And I tell you what, if he didn't win it, he would have won it on protest, John Letts.
I think you might be right there too, Dan, because Procol Harum did shift out on him, you know, considerably on the way to the line. And here we got him in front. Procol Harum just holding, he's come out there and he's
there was a bit more interference before it.
Yeah, just before that. Number 5, Power of Destiny. There he is there, Dan. He was just laying on that horse. But, oh, gee, Dan, I've seen a horse in that race that if he's in over the carnival again later in the week, Above Deck, he just never, Michael Clark rode him beautifully, but just never got a run at him. And I'd say out of the race, Above Deck is definitely one to follow. But Power of Destiny, as I said before the race, he looked beautiful going to the barriers, and he really did. But when you're hot, you're hot. Peter Hutchison riding on a wave at the moment, and oh gee, the Melbourne Cup, if he can win it on Water Bateman, what a great week it's going to be for him.
He actually rode Power of Destiny in last year's Melbourne Cup. And what a day. I mean, the dream just continues for the 24-year-old who actually turns 25 tomorrow. So what a day that'll be.
Well, I don't think he'll mind having his birthday a day before. But here we go here, Dan, when he's raced up on the outside of Procol Harum. And Darren Beedman on Procol Harum, he's thrown everything at him. But the horse looked as if he was running away from the whip a little bit on the inside, didn't he?
Definitely.
And he's come out and definitely, you know, touched this other horse. And I think I might have to agree with you if there was. See, Darren straightened him up there, but the horse just doesn't seem to want to come back in again, does he?
No, definitely not. He got out, and he at that stage when a horse like Power of Destiny received the bump, he got it, almost puts them off, but such was the momentum, he just went on and got up, and 4 races today, 3 photo finishes.
Yes, and it's been great racing, and what a race the Melbourne Cup's going to be.
Seen at Flemington in the jockeys area, and correct weight is there. Correct weight is there on race number 4. The Great Western placings were 5, 2 and 10 correct weight. Let's have a look at the dividends across Australia. Power of Destiny paid $6.95 and $1.85. Procol Harum paid 80 cents and Looks Great $1.25. Quinella $11.20, and the trifecta paid $273.20.
Okay, punters, it's the Goodyear Racing to Win deals. And it's large car tyres out of Goodyear, only $69. That's $69. You won't beat that price. So why don't you back this tyre favourite now at Goodyear?
Here at Flemington, they're predicting 100,000. It would have to be close because you literally can't move out there on the race course, and you can see some of them there. I think that must be the CUB truck, the Carlton Brewery truck, pulled by those beautiful big drafties. As the tension mounts and the pressure builds for the Melbourne Cup of 1990, we'll be back soon.
problem.
Melbourne, the sporting capital of Australia, the home of the Melbourne Cup. And for 135 years, through world wars, depression and rolling through the good times, we have flocked to Flemington to cheer our heroes. The first cup winner, Archer, who won consecutive cups, and the champion, Carbine. In 1930, it was the immortal Far Lap, and in 48, it was the 80-to-1 chance, Rimfire. 65 saw the Bonnie Light Fingers join the greats. And in 1969, Rainlover crossed the finish line to make it 2 in a row. It could not have been any closer in 1979, when the brilliant Hyperno joined the greats of Cup history.
Salamander and Hyperno was joining in down the outside. Hyperno on the outside and Salamander, Hyperno, Salamander. They hit the bunny finish. Nearly a dead heat between Hyperno and Salamander.
And in 82, it was Gurners Lane who defeated a champion, Kingston Town.
Gurners Lane after Kingston Town. Gurners Lane and Kingston Town. Gurners Lane going a shade the better. And Gurners Lane wins the cup from Kingston Town.
The following year, the Dynamo from New Zealand, Kiwi, devastated the field in an amazing run down the Flemington Straight.
On the outside and Kiwis flying might beat them all. Kiwis come from last in a phenomenal performance. Won the cup by a length and a quarter from...
In the Bicentennial Cup of 88, it was the darling of the turf, Empire Rose.
Natsky trying to get to her. Empire Rose a half in front. Natsky won't make it, and the big mare wins. Empire Rose beats Natsky.
And last year, one of the biggest crowds on record watched Lee Friedman's 25-to-1 shot, Terrific, ridden by Shane Dye, run the cup in the fastest time in history.
Superimpose in front, it could be a Friedman Quinella. Superimpose in front, Terrific coming late on the outside. Kuntz fights back, it's Kuntz, Superimpose and Terrific's going to win the cup for Lee Friedman. Terrific kicked away and wins it, Quinella for Lee. Terrific first, Superimpose second, Kuntz third. Then came the...
And that's just a great feeling.
When did you think you were going to win?
Well, I'm a bit emotional, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Going out of the straight, I got too far away, and the inside was tried to push me out, and I said, don't go, whatever you do, because we're not going to win. I said, all we can do is just save ground. They've gone too hard, and they were going to stop. And I went to make my move at about the 1,000, but they all started to pack up because they just went too hard early. So I just saved ground. Before the turn, I thought, well, I've wasted nothing. I've got to go around them. And I thought I was on the right horse, the best stayer, and he's won.
To win the cup is a dream, and today another dream will come true. Network 10 and the Victoria Racing Club are proud to welcome viewers around the world for this, the running of the 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, Melbourne's famous Flemington, this year celebrating its 150th year of racing. And just after 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Summertime here in Australia, and just under 40 minutes to 24 magnificent thoroughbreds taking their place in this race, on this racetrack, for the 130th running of the world's most prestigious and unique horse race, the Foster's Melbourne Cup. Good afternoon, I'm Tim Webster. Today's Cup will be witnessed by over 60 million people from here in Australia and throughout the United States, Japan, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Hong Kong, the Middle East and Malaysia. Welcome to you. Over $100 million will be bet on this race. The total prize money is $2 million Australian. First place getter receiving $1.3 million, $400,000 going to the second place getter, and $200,000 and $100,000 going to third and fourth place getters, respectively. The actual cup itself is valued at over $32,000, and presenting it to today's cup winners will be Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of York. At the moment, Her Royal Highness is viewing the runners of the 1990 Melbourne Cup as they make their final preparation down at the parade ring. It's a fabulous day this day to our viewers around the world. I can tell you it's like Wembley, it's like the Super Bowl, it's like a test match at Eden or Carlaw Park in New Zealand. It really is one of the great days on the Australian sporting calendar. And there is the Duchess of York as we speak, on her way down to inspect the horses. And Colin Stanley Hill is with me, and Fergie, I know she doesn't like to be called, but certainly appears to be enjoying herself today.
She certainly is enjoying herself. I think what some people will be surprised to learn is that racing is Australia's third largest industry, coming after agriculture and mining.
Plenty
And
of money in it.
a staggering $20 billion is backed every year. Whether or not the Duchess has had a flutter, of course, is you were right to guess.
Bet she has.
I noticed her press secretary scuttling down just now, so let's hope she wins.
And of course, it should be remembered that she met Andrew at Ascot.
She certainly did. She did and she didn't. I mean, they met as children when they were about 4 or 5 years old, obviously at polo and that sort of thing. But the Duchess has later confessed that it was Ascot Week, Royal Ascot Week in 1984, that they did, in fact, fall in love. Gets you right here, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
And we all know what that led to.
Yeah, and the rest is history, as they say. Well, Dan Malecki will call this race for you, ladies and gentlemen. He is one of Australia's best race callers. Good afternoon, Dan. Are you still with Water Boatman?
Good afternoon, Tim. Yes, very much indeed. You must stick to your fancy. We tipped him in the Caulfield Cup. We'll stick with him. He's now favourite for the 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup, a race which has run over 3,200 metres, 3.2 kilometres, or 2 miles, just a little bit over 2 miles, or 16 furlongs. And it's designated in the yellow and orange colour on the billboard. That will be the Foster's Melbourne Cup, the 3,200 metre start on the left of screen. They go down to the finish line, and then they do one more lap. The race we certainly call the greatest horse race in the world. It certainly is, without any doubt at all, the greatest horse race in the Southern Hemisphere, and people across this great land of ours and all over the world, I think, will find out why we think it is the greatest horse race in the world. The totes, Sedestin $7.30, Torific $6. These are the Victorian totes. Flying Luskin $7.80, $3.90 for Water Boatman, who is now just being pipped by favouritism by the Phantom, number 7 at $3.80, Mr. Brooke at $9.55, number 10 Shazora $5. There are 24 starters in this race. Just to Dancer $7.75, $8.80 for Shellier. Del Raffin $92, one of the outsiders. Ali Boy number 19 at $6.50. Down to the bottom, number 24 is Selwyn's Mate at $90.55. $5 million the win, $4 million the place. With me in the broadcast box is dual Melbourne Cup winning jockey John Letts, who won the race on Piping Lane in '72 and in 1980 on Belldale Ball, and it is the greatest horse race to win, John.
It is, Dan, and I can just imagine now what's going through the jockeys' minds in the room down there. They'll all be sort of trying to relax, but they know there's $2 million at stake out there, and when you're riding a race worth $2 million, it's just a matter of you got to go out there and you sort of throw everything to the wind when you get out there. You take chances that you wouldn't take in other races, and but you know at the end of the race the prize is there, and this is why you find the Caulfield Cup there's always suspensions. There's always suspensions in Melbourne Cups, but it seems as if it's worth it. And if nothing bad happens out there, from the interference, well, no one seems to mind.
Everybody likes to have a bet on the Melbourne Cup. Everyone, non-race goers, race goers. There's $9 million in the win and place pool on the totalisator. More money being bet through the bookmakers, which of course is a great part of the racing tradition in Australia, bookmakers. In the betting room, one of the most famous names in racing as well, the most experienced man, Bob Mormel. Good afternoon to you, Bob. What a fantastic day. It's really hotting up for this marvellous horse race.
Thanks for the wrap-up, Dan. My mum back in Western Australia at Hamilton Hill would love that. Well, down here, Dan, interesting. You said that Water Boatman was favourite or close to it on the tote. He's nowhere near favourite with the books. As a matter of fact, he's at each-way odds, very generous each-way odds, in fact, double-figure odds. The Phantom has finally won the battle for favouritism with Shazora and Water Boatman. The Phantom has tightened right up in betting to be a clear favourite, 1.5 points ahead, but he's still a good each-way odds. He's 1.5 points ahead of Shazora, with Water Boatman the next favourite, and I might tell you that the money has continued to come for Flying Luskin. But here in the betting ring, where it's a madhouse, money everywhere, Phantom favourite, Shazora second favourite, Water Boatman third favourite. Back to you, Dan.
Thanks very much, Bobby. And it really is an international race this year. 14 of the runners are from overseas, 11 close to home from New Zealand. One's from Ireland, another one bred in America, and another one comes from Argentina. Let's have a look at the contenders for the 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup. Can the Caulfield Cup winner Sedestin emulate the feat of 1972 Melbourne Cup winner Piping Lane, the last Tasmanian horse to win Australia's most famous race? Or will the Cup be a race for the girls, Shazora and Shellier? Shazora, a 6-year-old mare, is a proven 3,200 metre winner, having won the Brisbane Cup. And Shellier, who will be ridden by last year's winning jockey Shane Dye, was placed in the Sydney Cup. Can New Zealander Just a Dancer do a Lazarus? 2 weeks ago, the 4-year-old couldn't walk and was in desperate danger of missing the Cup. But his fighting qualities won that battle. Will he win this one? Or is it another New Zealander, Mr. Brooker, who will steal his thunder? Mr. Brooker won the best provincial cup lead-up, the Geelong Cup, and then was placed in Saturday's McKinnon Stakes. Or will Terrific become just the 4th horse in 129 years to win back-to-back Melbourne Cups? Or will a rank outsider, 8-year-old Rising Fear, the oldest horse in the Cup, take it out? Rising Fear finished second to the American stallion at Tallaght in 1986. Or will another American-bred horse win the 1990 Cup? Kingston Rule, sired by the champion Secretariat, will try to fly the flag for the Northern Hemisphere. Maybe the Cup will go to another import. Water Boatman was bred and born in Ireland and raced the early part of his career in Britain, and he's trying to give David Hayes a Melbourne Cup winner with his very first starter. Or perhaps Savage Toss, an Argentinian stallion who won last Wednesday's Werribee Cup, can add another chapter into the Melbourne Cup history. Well, it's only 40 minutes and the history books will show the winner of the 1990 Foster's Melbourne Cup. It's a nervous time for everybody involved in racing, certainly the jockeys, the trainers and the owners. And Tim, shortly we'll find out who will go into the history books.
Dan, I think the horses feel it too sometimes. You can see the look on their face. They know it's a big day and they know what's expected of them today. I can tell you here in Melbourne it's a very warm day, temperature probably up around the early 30s. That's Celsius, of course. There's been a hot northerly wind blowing all day today. Rain has been threatening away to the north. They do predict a thunderstorm later, but it's nowhere near us for the Melbourne Cup, I can assure you of that. And down on the track to see how that track is looking, I'll bet it's fast. Here's Peter Donegan.
Thank you, Tim. Well, this is the Flemington Straight, the famous Flemington Straight that has been graced by so many champions over the years. And in about half an hour's time, another one will be added to that list. It'll come thundering down here on the same patch of turf that all the champions have graced for 129 years now. When they do race on this surface, it's hard, it's fast. They've already set one record here today. Of course, grass is the predominant racing surface here in Australia, and that's where they run the Melbourne Cup. And when they do, in about 30 minutes' time, not only these people, these 100,000 people behind me here at Flemington will stop, but so will the rest of the nation. And then, 5 minutes later, they'll salute a champion. The best of luck to everyone.
Indeed. And I hope that champion's number 7, the Phantom. That's where my money is. Last year, a record 222,000 people came to Flemington. This year, that record looks certain to be broken again. And there's no question that when they get here, they certainly have a terrific time. Welcome back to Melbourne's Flemington Racetrack for the running of the 1990 Melbourne Cup. And what a day it is. What a big day it is. The Duchess of York will shortly be making her way to the committee stand, and she appears to be having a lovely day, Colin Stanley Hill.
She certainly does, yes. There's been some comment on why the hat is so large. The reason, of course, is quite obvious to the ladies. The Duchess is a redhead. She's got this marvellous Titian hair, and it's to protect her skin from the Australian sun. When you're up close to her, she's covered with this very light, I don't know what you call it, the freckles all over, gives her a golden glow. Most attractive lady.
Yeah, she certainly is, and I know a lot is made of her weight, but she's looking very, very fit indeed.
Yes, she's got a very, very simple diet. She just cuts out all fat and all dairy products, and apparently it just melts off you, and if that's the result, I think more people should go on it.
Absolutely. I can tell everyone around the world that it really is an incredible day here today. I don't know whether we're going to get an official crowd figure for you soon, but we'll try and get one and see how many are here just coming up to race time. But it looks like, as I look out my window, about the 100,000 mark, another record for Flemington on what is a really super day. For the jockeys, of course, in their mounting yard, well, their hearts must be beating right in their mouths that little bit faster now as they get their last-minute instructions from the trainers. The bookies are taking their last bets. People are making their last decisions. They've only got 20 minutes to go, and the money's got to be down for the 1990 Melbourne Cup. And here's the man that will call it, Dan Malecki.
Thanks very much, Tim. It's a nervous time, I think, for anyone involved in racing. And you were talking about the crowd, nearly 100,000 people jammed into this race course, indicative of how important this great race is, not only in Australia, but worldwide. John Letts won it twice. John, we talked about the nerves only moments ago. We've got to boil down and tip the winner of the race now.
Dan, you know the amazing part I found about the Melbourne Cup is we've got Old Rising Fear in there, and he's paying about $28 a win, and he's an 8-year-old, and like he's 600 to 1 chance with the bookies. So every horse in the race has got, you know, its supporters, haven't they?